It's Monday, October 11th, 2021. A lot to talk about today. I jotted down some notes, printed out some articles. I'm going to go over all this with you. Please feel free to comment down below on any of this. I want to start with this. We were talking yesterday about emergency food. Emergency food is selling out, and we are beginning to see the shelves at the grocery stores, at the Walmarts, beginning to lean out a little bit. But the real barometer here is emergency food, and many of the companies now out there are selling out. For Patriots Food Supply, I checked their website today. The 3-month survival kit sold out. Their 4-week survival kit sold out. As you all know, or most of you know, Augustin Farms. They apparently even took their website down. They're closing down for 90 days because they cannot get material. And the demand has been so extraordinary, they cannot keep up with it. So they've had to shut down for at least 90 days. Now, My Patriots Food, I looked at their website, and they are saying that their orders are going to be delayed. Mountain House, I checked out their website today, and there is food available, but a lot of it is sold out. So if you get a chance, take a look at it. If you don't have emergency food right now, please get some emergency food. I read, I think it was yesterday, in the comments, and I don't know if this was regarding for Patriots Food Supply or another emergency food, but somebody said I wouldn't feed that to my dog. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody that says that is an ignorant human being. This is the guy that would land up eating his own dog because he doesn't have emergency food. You know, again, the ignorance out there of some people, I guess they've never starved, never missed a meal. They don't know what it means to go hungry. And look, I'm blessed. I haven't missed too many meals in my life. I'm sure most of you haven't missed too many meals in your life, thank God. But when you talk to people around the world, millions and millions and millions of people who are food insecure, the millions that die of starvation every year. Talk to the people in Venezuela who had to break into zoos and eat zoo animals to survive. Ask them why there are no dogs and cats running around in Venezuela. A piece of cardboard would taste good if you haven't eaten in 3 days. And yet we have ignorant people like this that believe that they're too good when they're starving to eat an emergency food. But no, this is the type of person that would land up having to eat his dog. This is ignorance, ladies and gentlemen. And don't ever put yourself in this situation to where you are desperate. And if you're putting away food and you're putting away assets and you're getting your debts paid off, you're not going to be desperate. So don't be one of these desperate, ignorant people. The hedge today, it's a disastrous day. All hell breaks loose in China's bond markets. Didn't hear anything about this today. I was watching some of the business channels earlier. Did not hear a word of this. Investors are unloading bonds in China. China property firm bonds were hit by another weekly wrecking ball today, Monday, as Evergrande was set to miss its 3rd round of bond payments as its rival, another development company, Modern Land, became the latest scrambling to delay deadlines. Having already suffered the fastest drop on record, Chinese junk bonds, where property developers dominate, were routed once again as fears about fast spreading contagion in the $5 trillion sector, which drives a sizable chunk of the Chinese economy, continued to savage sentiment. Meanwhile, China's Evergrande Group's offshore bondholders still have not received interest payment by today, Monday, their deadline, Asia time. Last week, Fantasia shocked bondholders with a surprise announcement. It would stiff creditors just weeks after it says its liquidity is fine. Don't believe everything you're hearing on the television, ladies and gentlemen. They're telling you how great it is. Well, people now in China are finding out it isn't so great. Even though they'll tell bondholders, investors, everything's fine. And all of a sudden, boom. So will China see catastrophic property sales? If it does, this will be the worst case scenario that could play out, and it may be playing out right now. And what kind of effect does that have on America? Even though nobody's talking about it, I think it has a monstrous effect on America. And things get worse in China. And remember, if China sneezes, we're going to catch a cold here in America. China on verge of stagflationary shock with 30% wholesale inflation on deck. I mean, this is incredible what is happening, and nobody's talking about it. This will lead to more plunges in cash flow in China, more defaults in China, more supply chain bottlenecks in China. Profit margins will collapse in China. And this means China will be exporting a lot of inflation here to America. The Grim Reaper is going to reap, ladies and gentlemen. The Grim Reaper is going to reap. And these people who think that we're immune from this, you're going to find out that we're not. People are just so naive, and they're so oblivious now because of this euphoria. Dow Jones down 250 today, just nothing. I'm sure it'll be back up tomorrow. But there is something definitely happening behind the scenes in China. And if China begins to really get into trouble, what do you think is going to happen in Taiwan? I believe at this point, they go to Taiwan. And does that mean we're going to get involved? I mean, do we see a war? Quite possibly. China, if they get into enough trouble, are, I think, no doubt going to be heading into Taiwan. And it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. And I certainly hope America doesn't get tied into it. But if America goes, or if China goes into Taiwan, takes over Taiwan, which more than likely it's going to happen in the very near future, this gives China a lot of power because they are going to control the chip industry. America may have the world reserve currency, but China will have the chip currency. And the world reserve currency, as I was talking to my good friend Marshall today, is on borrowed time. And how about when China gets the world reserve currency and they monopolize the chip industry? They're going to be an absolute superpower, and everybody is going to be enslaved to China because they're going to hold the world reserve currency, they're going to hold the gold, and they're going to hold the chip industry. And I sure hope I'm wrong about all this, but the way it is shaping up, I don't think I'm going to be wrong. Daily Mail today. It's all hands on deck. Fast food chain Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers will send half of its corporate workers into kitchens to work as fry cooks and cashiers as it struggles to hire staff. This was amazing. Check this out. 500 of its 750 corporate workers are being sent out to work as cooks and cashiers for 1 to 2 weeks. I have to applaud them. And I've heard nothing but good things about this restaurant. Never been to one, but I hear it's very good. And I applaud them to take their white collar workers and put them to work. If this is what you have to do to survive, then this is what you do. 71% of restaurants are understaffed right now in America, and 51% in September didn't even pay rent. So this is survival mode for the restaurant industry. I just went to, unfortunately, I'm going to admit this, I went to a Dickey's barbecue the other day, and I figured, okay, I'm going to give them one last try. Checked out the website, make sure they're open, says they're open. I go to Dickey's barbecue, and this is the one in Rancho Mirage, minutes from my house. Go there, and the door is locked at 2 o'clock in the afternoon while the website says they're open. Go there, pull the door, it's locked. And there's a sign scribbled with crayon on the window saying, sorry, we're closed, understaffed, only doing catering only. So wouldn't it be nice if maybe you updated your website? But this is why that place will go out of business. The one 10 minutes down the road already went out of business. This one will be next. But where's the owner? Why isn't the owner there doing something? Why? Again, it's just survival mode. And I don't know what is happening here, but I like what Raising Cane's is doing here. They're doing what it takes to survive. While other places, I think, I don't know. But We find out what businesses and people are made of during tough times, and we're going to find out what people and businesses are made of during these tough times. And unfortunately, places like Dickies are not going to survive. The latest slump in car sales has winners and losers. Pretty soon, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, and if you enjoy these videos, please give these videos a thumbs up, share these videos, make sure you subscribe, make sure you come check out my Patreon channel. Just uploaded a new video about 2 days ago on Patreon. Check it out and really, really support the channel. But the latest slump in car sales has winners and losers. In my opinion, pretty soon, it's not going to be about this chip shortage. It's going to be about who can even afford a car. Average new car now over $42,000. I think the price of a new car went up 17% month over month from August to September. 17% was a crazy number. But pretty soon, it's not going to be the shortage of chips. It's going to be the shortage of income, where the average American just is going to be tapped out. The average American just isn't going to be able to afford a $42,000 car. Another article coming from The Hedge today. China coal futures hit record high as mines flood. You've seen the flooding in China. My question is, what's going to happen when products that are, like the 90 ships, the 90 cargo ships were sitting on the West Coast here in LA waiting to be offloaded? What happens when the ships stop showing up? Because we're going to see continued factory shutdowns in China because they cannot run electricity now with the flooding. It is wreaking havoc on their energy. And a lot of factories don't have electricity now, and they're shutting down. There are going to be no boats showing up at the ports if this continues. So between the inflation that China is going to pass on to America, the shortage of energy, the shutting down of factories, I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see when this inflation is going to slow down. In fact, I think it's going to ramp up. 2022 is going to be an absolutely horrendous year for America. Make sure you're getting ready. Gas prices skyrocket as global energy crisis worsens. This on CNN today. Oil broke over $81 today, closed at $80.43. Is $200 a barrel oil coming to America? I certainly think we're going to definitely see oil over $100. 200? Is it possible? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. People writing me today saying they think it's going to 200. Is it possible? Absolutely. Kraft Heinz warns shoppers, get ready to pay more for food. Shortages, supply chain woes, labor issues, high energy costs, rising commodity prices. Pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen, ketchup and mustard will be a luxury. Daily Mail, America's bare shelves. Walmart, Costco limit toilet paper sales while toy companies warn parents their kids' Christmas gifts won't arrive in time thanks to backlog at ports, rail yards, and on the roads. This is going to have an absolutely huge impact on the U.S. economy. It looks like Christmas will not be saved. And look, I know that we don't want to look at Christmas materialistically, but this is going to have a huge impact on the economy, and people better get used to it. And there's going to be a lot of lashing out. Kids are going to be angry. People are going to be mad that they didn't get a good gift. They're going to be mad that they couldn't pick up the big screen TV on a Black Friday sale. They're going to be mad that they just don't have the options and choices that they once did. And look, this is just the beginning. What's going to happen when people go to the store and only 50% of the shelves are stocked? What happens when you go to Home Depot or Lowe's and you can't find the tool that you need or the item that you need? Another question is this. We look at trucking, and 90% of everything is delivered by truck, right? Well, these trucks wear down, right? They need parts, they need U-joints, they need bearings, they need, they need chips, they need all kind of things, right? Things wear down. What happens when the trucking industry cannot get parts to keep trucks on the road? to keep trucks running. We don't think about that, but most of these parts are coming from other parts of the world. And if we don't get them, we cannot maintain the trucks on the road that we have right now. What happens? Comment down below. Let me know what you think about that. And I'm going to close with this last article. Southwest Airlines cancels 1,000 more flights as disruption increases. We saw 1,000 flights canceled yesterday, 2,000 flights over the weekend, and hundreds of more flights canceled today, Southwest flights. If this begins to happen to another airline, we're going to see very, very big trouble. This is going to have a huge impact on this economy, and it's having a big impact right now. And if this continues into the holiday, another airline or two, we start seeing this happening in a couple more airlines during the worst possible time, the holidays, what kind of impact is this going to have on the U.S. economy? People need to fly for business. People need to see their families. What kind of impact is this going to have? People that need to be working, that can't work. It's going to have a huge, huge impact. And we're beginning to see more and more disruptions, ladies and gentlemen, across the board in every sector. But just think about thousands of flights just by one airline over a weekend. What if it was 2 airlines and it was 4,000 flights? What if it's 5,000 flights on a weekend canceled? What happens? It just seems to me like it's like throwing a wrench in the gears that things are just not functioning. And if you cannot get planes to take off, if you cannot continue to keep trucks on the road, if you can't keep the trains on the rails, if you can't keep all this functioning, you need people, and you need equipment, and you need parts. And it seems like every sector of this is breaking down, and it's a major disruption. And I think it's going to get a lot worse. So make sure that you do everything you can to put the odds in your favor that you are not as affected as most people are going to be. I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Thanks for watching. Share this video and continue to pray for this country. Thanks for supporting this show. And I look very, very forward to talking with all of you very, very soon.